Remembering Lily by Pauline Kuhner of Dubbo 2830. Narrated by Janine Penfold. Sometimes we talk about diversity today as if it is something new to be embraced for the first time. History has given us many lessons in diversity. One such lesson comes from the true story of the life of Dr. Lily Holt McCrimmon. To bring Lily to life, I'd like to share her story of courage, empathy, compassion, acceptance, and professionalism. Lily Holt was born in Melbourne in 1882, the fourth child of Peter and Elizabeth Holt. Lily's father was a progressive man, a furniture maker by trade, and a pioneer missionary to the Victorian Adult Deaf and Dumb Mission. The family home was full of enlightened conversation and humanity. Lily excelled in her school studies and went on to Melbourne University in 1901, continuing her medical studies there until 1905. She met the challenge of study in a male-dominated field head-on and did not look back. In March 1906, Lily, then just 23 years old, sailed with her father Peter on the aptly named Medic from Melbourne to London to go on to continue her studies at the prestigious University of Edinburgh. During her time in Scotland, Lily and two friends ventured to the Isle of Skye for a short holiday. What a delight it must have been! The rugged landscape and crisp mountain air gave them the brief freedom to escape their studies and explore this unique haven of nature. It was here Lily met local Neil McCrimmon. Two adventurers, one of academia and the other of the seas. There was something magical in the air as they were engaged just 3 days after meeting. Lily had much to achieve before any marriage could happen, and Neil did not expect a wedding anytime soon. Lily graduated from the Edinburgh University in 1908. In a class of 64 students, Lily was one of only 16 who graduated, and the only woman to successfully pass. Many women followed her, and the faculty, perhaps reluctantly, accepted the diversity of genders. Nearly 17,000 miles from her Melbourne home, apart from her family, Lily's achievement likely went unnoticed. Lily was immediately appointed medical superintendent of the Lingfield Colony of Epileptics in London, England. Female doctors at the time, regardless of their skills or knowledge, were generally restricted to treating small children, women, or infirmed patients outside of the hospital system. Sadly, Lily's father was in failing health, and she left her position in London to return to Australia and to care for him. Peter died from Bright's disease, kidney failure, shortly after, and the whole family was devastated. In December 1911, Lily was appointed medical superintendent at the Queen Victoria Home for Consumptives at Wentworth Falls, New South Wales. Neil had travelled to Australia, and in July 1912, 5 years after meeting, they married in the Holy Trinity Church, Wentworth Falls. On the marriage certificate, their usual occupations were listed as sawmiller and physician, respectively. It was the sawmiller's occupation that would take them to the Solomon Islands. Lily embraced and respected the local culture, and her achievements and services are well documented in the archives of the Solomons. She embraced the opportunity to be a part of the cultural diversity of the islands, and in a short time, she was proficient in 4 local dialects. During their time here, Lily returned to Newcastle for the birth of each of her 4 children. The timber industry was suffering from the devastating trade and financial impacts of the Great Depression. The decision was made to return to New South Wales to join the older children who were attending school in Newcastle. With the family together again, it was time to find a new home. In December 1931, Lily arrived in the small New South Wales town of Mendoran with her husband Neil and their 4 children. Lily's sister, Hattie Bartels, had also lived in the Solomon Islands with her husband James, who had died in 1928. Widowed and with no children of her own, Hattie settled in Mendoran with the McCrimmons. Lily and her family were embraced wholeheartedly by the locals. The Mendoran CWA hospital opened 8 months after they arrived, and Lily cared for her patients in the brand spanking new building. The family settled into their new life, and the children excelled at the local school. This small town was home to migrants from the British Isles, Greece, China, Italy and Germany who lived and worked alongside the local Aboriginal people. It was a small and harmonious community, unusual for the times. The local newspapers regularly carried reports of Lily's patients. Babies born in Mendoran during her time were unknowing pioneers, as very few newborns in Australia in the 1930s would have had a female doctor attending their delivery. But like her father, Lily would soon be afflicted by kidney disease. She sought treatment in Sydney, but to no avail. She returned home to Mendoran, passing away in July 1935, in the very hospital where she cared for her flock. Over the next few months, Neil McCrimmon and their 4 children were supported by the local community. They were surrounded by the love and respect of these people. But without Lily, the grief was profound. He made the decision to travel to his native Scotland to make a new home for his family without his beloved wife and mother of his children. Lily's sister Hattie stayed in Mendoran. Heartbroken after the loss of her darling sister and dearest friend, she could not leave, and it was here that she passed away in 1960. Lily and her sister Hattie lay beside one another in the Mendoran cemetery. Diversity sometimes has to grow from necessity, and Lily's remarkable achievements are evidence of this. We should learn and celebrate the stories of our past. The end.